Hey everybody, today we're going over C minor pentatonic, which was from the last improv that I posted. Let me get my mic on here for the guitar. And basically, C minor pentatonic, the 5 patterns start on this fret. I don't even know what number that is. I don't really think of that, but I do look at the 3 dots and know that this is the first fret after the third dot. The third dot would be B, the root note of B. If you wanted to play B minor pentatonic, it would start there. C minor pentatonic starts here. And remember, these patterns are all connected. So once you know how to connect the patterns, you can play them in any key. This is pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, and pattern 4. Oops, sorry. So pattern 4. And they all go together. So from pattern 1 we go to pattern 5 if we go in reverse. Pattern 4 again. So pattern 4 repeats there, there, and there. Okay, yeah, it sounded a little out of tune. My intonation's a little bit off, forgive me. But we have plenty of room to do all the notes that we want to do between pattern 4 and pattern 4. As I said, I don't typically, and you can even get down into pattern 5 here, really, if you want to. But that's about all my Telecasters are going to get. And I don't typically do the open notes when I'm playing solos, just a personal preference, as I've said before. Lots of hammering on, pulling off. Oops, sorry. My favorite lick. That's where it goes in C minor pentatonic, pattern 1. Slide in between 1 and 2. What you can do to get used to these patterns, be creative, but get used to just playing around with pattern 1 on your own. You can do, well, first, after you've gotten used to just going through the patterns one by one and how they connect, to the point where you know those like the back of your hand, when you're playing around between patterns 1 and 2, you start just with pattern 1, stuff like that, and then you think about if you want to do something like my style. I don't use my picking hand a whole lot when I'm playing through the patterns. I just use a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So as you can see here, when I go back down, even when I land on that previous string, I'm not even picking that string. It's just enough to hammer on it. But as you're getting used to these patterns, think of how you can slide between 1 and 2, and just take it 2 patterns at a time. Get used to sliding between 1 and 2. There's a good sliding point right there on that G string. And then you can slide back on the D string. I like that slide right there because you go from one of my favorite lists to sliding into 2. You can slide up to 3, but I would just do 2 at a time until you get comfortable with those 2. Slide in between the notes of pattern 1 and 2, and then think about sliding between the notes of pattern 2 and 3. Then I went back to 1 there, but basically just take it 1 pattern at a time once you're used to going through all the patterns. And 1 pattern, get used to just playing around over the backing tracks and sliding into the next pattern. and make up your own tricks. That's basically what I did. If you want to tap, remember, think about how each string is connected through the pattern. So if we start here on pattern 1 and we're tapping on that G string, we have 1 fret in between the notes when we're between patterns 1 and 2. In this case, pattern 2 is here. This is where, this note right here is where patterns 1 and 2 connect. So we have a note from pattern 1, a note from both of the patterns, and then a note from pattern 2. And that's how you can think of connecting each string with the patterns. Then when we go here, we have a note from pattern 2, and then this note from pattern 2, this note from pattern 3, and this note that both of them share. And then we go up, we have a note from pattern 3, a note from pattern 5, a note from pattern 4. This is 3, this is 4, and this is the note that both of them share. So we have a note from pattern 3, a note from pattern 4, and the one that both of them share. And you can go down that string. After a while, you'll get to a point where you're not even thinking about it. You just know how many frets are in between each one of your little triplet patterns there. And if you mess up and you hit the wrong note, you'll hear it right away, so you can resolve back. And you can do that with any one of these strings. So if we go, you can do that with the E string. The pattern where there is one note in between each of the frets, or there's one fret in between each of the notes, I should say, is right there on the E string, and it's right there on the G string. But they go together the same, whichever string you're on. So if you go, we start here, pattern 4 and pattern 5, pattern 5 and pattern 1. Think about how those shapes are when you're going one by one. Then we've got pattern 1 and pattern 2, and when you go between pattern 2 and 3, that's where you have the shape where there's only one fret in between those. Then you go back to having one fret in between these two notes, between patterns 3 and 4, and then, between 3 and 4, and then when you go up here, between patterns 4 and 5, that's the shape. And then you just incorporate that into your playing once you get comfortable. There's that 3, that triplet combination with only one fret in between, again on the B string. There it is again. So you can go all up and down the neck. I typically take it one string at a time when I'm going in between the patterns. So personal preference. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm sorry I'm still stammering around my words a little bit, and I'm not as comfortable talking and playing at the same time, but I'm going to get better with that. So I'd encourage you to continue to listen if you're getting something out of it, and like and share and subscribe. Have a good day. Thanks.